Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
Okay,
Grieving
I mean,
storm.
yeah, for those of you, she didn't actually fly away. I've seen this clip. It's passed around a couple of times in the past few years ago. It's actually being played backwards because it's someone walking who slips down and it gets
but it
pushed by
looks
the.
cool.
It looks amazing, like she's just flying off.
Has been like summoned to heaven. So
This though, this is
I
recent.
just threw that in there because
Yeah.
it's flood related.
Yeah.
But this modern flood related stuff, this is in Guangzhou, I believe. Guangzhou is very close to where we lived. The floods have left entire schools of fish, and some of them have come from the fish markets.
Yeah, and the fish farms too.
And the fish farms
Yeah.
and the tanks have overflowed, and there are fish in the streets. It's pretty epic.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Free food everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You better believe people are taking advantage of that.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel.
Well, if shooting fish in the street.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for someone to make like an American police joke. Yeah, man.
Oh right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
exactly. That's disturbing.
This is crazy. This is a I can't tell if that's a saltwater crocodile or not, but it's not supposed to be there. I believe that's in Panyu, and that's also in Guangzhou. Just pause it real quick. This was in someone's courtyard. Inside of a
One
park
thing
area.
that might shock you is that you see these things for sale, like the alligator meat, when you go into the shops. I know, like some people it won't shock, but for me, I wasn't used to that. And you go into the supermarket in China, and in the meat section, they'll have like a whole crocodile, like chopped, like the heads chopped off or whatever. But there it is.
Yeah,
it's
you see that in
interesting.
Florida.
Yeah, I was thinking like Florida probably does that a lot, but
Yeah, probably not in Walmart though. That was kind of
yeah, it was always like in Walmart type things.
Remember that one that was alive
Yeah,
in Walmart?
yeah, they keep them alive but bound up.
Yeah, but it like if you whack it or you poke at it or whatever, it'll like flail and like
Yeah.
everyone screams in the Walmart. It's pretty wild that you see live alligators bound up in Walmart in China.
Yeah, and they have live turtles and stuff
Yeah.
and frogs for you to
it's
buy
not a
to
pet.
eat. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, a little fact by the
Yeah.
way, edible frogs in China, and again, all frogs are edible. I've eaten frogs, like bullfrogs and stuff. But the ones that are like cultivated in China are called tianji.
Yeah,
And it
field
means
chicken.
Field chicken.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's just a way of kind of making it palatable and like separating it from a chingwa, which is a frog.
frog,
So
yeah.
like it's called a field chicken. And it
Yeah,
does
chicken
kinda
from
taste
the
like
field.
chicken.
Yeah. Chicken you find in the field. Actually, you know what? Normal chickens come from a field too, usually, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? There's probably some weird etymology behind that. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe because it's like a rice paddy field. Because, you know,
Yeah.
tian is like means the rice paddy.
Yeah,
type
yeah. That's
field.
probably what it is because they
Yeah.
live in those.
They live in those, yeah.
And they're pretty tasty.
Yeah, well, I haven't eaten them, but yeah.
You haven't?
Oh, actually, I have.
talking about?
Of course I have, but I hate that. It's always tiny little bony little
Yeah, no.
things
It
in
has
the-
to be
oh.
prepared properly. If it's
Yeah.
prepared properly, it's good.
Okay, all right. This dude's just chilling out in his bed fishing.
How epic is that? Imagine you just wake up, everything's ruined, right?
Yes.
First of all, I go back. I wanted to get the mindset of this guy.
Right.
A lot of Chinese people are incredibly poor. And
Yeah.
when I say poor, I mean they're living in like sties, right?
Yeah.
I've been to places where people didn't have proper windows in their house.
Of course.
Mud houses, right? Mm-hmm. So you imagine that you're this dude, right? Everything you own is in here.
Yeah, and it's all ruined.
And it's gone. It's done. So
Yeah.
what better way to make a perfect situation out of this than to just take out a fishing rod and reel some big boys in?
Yeah, exactly.
You've already been flooded out. Might as
Yeah.
well make fun.
And he got one.
You got one. Props to him.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. What's he gonna like?
Where's he gonna
Lay
cook
it on his bed there?
Yeah, where's he gonna cook it?
No idea.
His blankets are in the water.
Yeah, it's gonna soak up. You know, you're not gonna stay dry forever.
No. Poor dude.
What's
Anyway,
this? Oh, it's a train of rats.
yeah, so this has been seeing a lot of this post flood.
Yeah.
You see this anyway, but I love
Yeah.
how coordinated the rats
It's
are.
cool, like, dude. That's like a little rat train.
It's a nightmare is what it is. I hate rats.
I've seen them going up and down pipes.
Yeah, they love those pipes, and they get massive. Those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
little
yeah.
ones. They in Guangdong and southern China, they get like this.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. More
With
like
tail.
this. Oh yeah, with tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
You gotta include
Yeah.
the tail.
Yeah, sure.
It's
sure.
like a fishing story. Now I caught one this big.
You know how Chinese EVs have been flooding the overseas markets these
Yeah.
days?
Yeah.
And that's, look, it really boils down to subsidies. The Chinese government has for more than a decade now been pumping huge subsidies into new energy vehicles, NEVs. So what they've been doing is they've been paying, like they'll go to Chinese companies and be like, every EV that you produce, we give you X amount of money. And it's normally the same or more than what the thing is worth. So, of course, with the Chinese government paying these companies to make EVs, of course, then why not make them?
Yeah.
No one can compete. If you got Chevrolet or whatever building a Chevy Bolt, they have to pay for it. But if you got BYD making a whatever it is, they pay very little for it, if anything, depending on the subsidies, right? So, of course, they've got massive amounts to dump. There's actually a new probe from the EU looking into the subsidy thing, which is about time because it's completely unfair. It's called dumping. They're dumping on the foreign markets, and there's no way.
It's not because the cars are shit.
No, I mean that too. But you know, the thing is, it's unfair because you cannot compete when a government is funding your competition. You can't compete. It's not fair. So they're looking into that. Anyway, just to show you, this is the kind of press that Chinese cars get. Family style, Li Auto L9 brings top-line luxury and intelligence to full-size SUV with NVIDIA Drive Orin, okay? High-performance sensors and AI, compute. Just looking at this fluff piece, because you'll always see these fluff pieces, and you have to understand that when you are reading these things, the information comes from China, okay? And it comes from the kind of EV people that are very heavily entrenched in China. You know, like when you've got EV journalists that live in China that are writing these blogs, they're being incentivized. A lot of those, actually. Yeah, there are a lot of them. And also from overseas, they've got BYD shares, or they've got some reason to be heavily entrenched. So they always wax lyrical about these things. But the information is always kind of one-sided, if that makes sense. So here we go. As a top-line luxury model, the L9 sports only the best when it comes to AI-assisted driving technology.
5G AI.
Yes. Now, of course, this is the article that came out probably about a year or so ago. And then recently, the thing's actually undergone some tests. Let's take a look.
So look.
Yeah. There we go.
That guy was not built well, I'll tell you what.
That's amazing AI self-driving technology, the top-line luxury as a top-line luxury model. You see, don't believe everything in the press. When you keep reading about all these things about how amazing Chinese EVs are, remember that they're being written by the people that have got an interest in these things, you know, that are either building them or have a massive interest or shares or whatever the case.
You saw a lot of that with the COVID origin stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of these journals or medical things that they were pulling out as data as to why like China didn't, you know, it didn't come from China or whatever, were self-made articles.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to show you the funniest show and the craziest show you've ever seen. I did it, guys.
You look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. What are you supposed to be, a bloody baker?
yeah. And he's wearing this, like, condom.
What is that? Okay.
I don't want to be one of those guys like, oh, the clowns are scary, but this shit was scary. Purple and yellow balloon, like a balloon suit, fitted tights. And she goes, come here, and like she like pulls me, right? She's like, take your pants off. No, take them off. I was grabbed, I was handled.
Well, you're basically the naughty baker.
I didn't do anything naughty.
Oh, no. Oh, this is cringe.
Almost singing